Part number 112. Welcome everybody watching wrotv YouTube channel with Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Meaning peace and blessing of Allah be upon all of you. Today is February 20, 2023. I am Muhyiddin Muhammad Yusuf, the President of World Rohingya Organization based in New York, USA. Today I have picked up a topic that is Arsa, Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army is illegitimate Rohingya self-defense forces of the Rohingya people. Why I have chosen this topic is because some non-Rohingya Burmese people and activists, including a section of Rohingya elite and political activists in diaspora, and also some people from Rohingya refugee camps, they are asking me why I am advocating the cause of Arsa, why I am working for Arsa and encouraging them, why I stand behind these people who are regarded as terrorist organization, terrorist people, and creating terror among the people. So I have to explain to them they are misunderstood of Arsa, and actually they have become instrumental and collaborators of the Myanmar military junta, who is similarly demanding, who is similarly labeling Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army as a terrorist organization. So what is the difference? What is the difference if the Rohingya activists and Rohingya people say the same thing what Myanmar military junta online is saying? That means very, very sad news and shocking to understand the mindset and mentality of these Rohingya activists and misguided Rohingya people. Here I come today with justifiable reason and with a lot of proof that to mention and to express to the world on behalf of Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army that Arsa is not a terror organization, nor they are terrorists. They are real freedom fighters. They are heroic people among the Rohingyas. They are fighting to defend the Rohingya people from ongoing Myanmar brutal military forces and be prepared to challenge the enemies in case the remaining Rohingya population face existential threat and attack from Myanmar military junta, brutal forces and other unwanted force of Rohingya people. In fact, to say the truth, the Myanmar military junta, Myanmar illegal government, and a section of the Burmese population and also members of the PDF, that means People Defense Forces and ethnic armed groups of Myanmar, and sometimes civil societies leaders in Burma, they label Rohingya people as the illegal intruders from neighboring Bangladesh, Kuwang Bengali, and also they have poisoned the entire population mindsets by the successive 70 years of parliamentary and dictatorship Myanmar military government poisoned the entire Burmese population that Rohingyas are not the real citizens of the not real citizens, and they are not sons of the soil, and they all came illegally from the border Bangladesh. So the people are misunderstood. So the same Myanmar military junta and previous democratic government, they they made the Rohingya people as a stateless people. The stateless people depriving of all kinds of rights and then making them foreigners and sending them out of the country Arakan by force through genocide. So the same way when we are fighting back Myanmar military junta in the form of Arsa, they are also discriminating these resistant forces and unwilling to accept as a legal and legitimate forces of the Rohingya people. The problem is here. That's why I have to explain to the people of Burma disregarding race, religion and language that we have to respect the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 30 articles endorsed by UN Charter. But unfortunately, the non-Rohingya international democratic activists in diaspora and inside the Arakan, they treat the Rohingya people as subhuman, which is a big mistake. They don't want to recognize or they don't want to accept Rohingya with their original name and identity Rohingya, and they don't want to share the resources, they don't want to share power, they don't want to accept them same as other nationalities like Rakhine, Shankashinkayammo. The problem is here. That's why they try to wipe out entire Rohingya people from the soil of Arakan in the last 70 years. Now most of them has gone, but still 500,000 and more than 700,000 are still inside Arakan. And they are trying to wipe out these people also. The enemies of the Rohingyas think Rohingya people are subhuman. In the last 70 years, we have seen it. The Rohingya people are not subhuman. I want to tell you, I want to tell to the world. Rohingya people are an ethnic group living in the Arakan state of Myanmar. And Rohingyas have the same fundamental human rights as any other people or other ethnic group of Burma or in Arakan like Rakhine. Unfortunately, the Rohingya people have faced significant discrimination and persecution in Myanmar with the collaboration of a section of xenophobic and racist Rakhine mobs. The Myanmar government denying them Rohingya people citizenship and many basic rights, access to education, healthcare and employment. In 2017, Burmese military junta launched a brutal crackdown on the Rohingya people that led the displacement of 1.1 million Rohingya people to neighboring Bangladesh as victims of genocide. It is important to recognize the humanity, dignity of people, regardless of their ethnicity, religion, or any characteristic. Discrimination, persecution of any group of people is unacceptable, and it goes against the principle of basic human rights and the value of equality for all. This is to be understood by all Burmese politicians, NUG governments, Myanmar military junta, and the civil society people and the student activists, that they cannot exclude the Rohingya people from the fabric of the nation of Arakan or Myanmar. all of the 30 articles enshrined in the United Nations Charters, right of self-determination of people, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Because Burmese military junta and before it the National League for Democracy led government and the successive governments, they have never given respect to Rohingya people, recognition to the Rohingya people, universal human rights to the Rohingya people. So in the last 70 years, they have been suffering a slow poison of genocide, and they are now in full victims of genocide. Still it is ongoing. There are a number of ethnic armed groups in Burma, Myanmar, fighting against the government forces for several decades. We are not alone. Arakan army is not alone. The reasons for the conflict are complex but rooted in a combination of political, economic, social factors as well as historical grievances. One of the main reasons for the conflict is the issue of ethnicity and ethnic autonomy. In Myanmar is a highly diverse country with more than 135 national races and groups, and many of these groups have long-standing grievances against the central government, which has been dominated by the ethnic Burman majority. This group have sought greater autonomy only and control over their own affairs, including the ability to maintain their own languages, cultures, and ways of life. Also, it is a major issue that has fueled the conflict is resources control. Many of the ethnic areas in Burma are rich in natural resources and such as oil, gas, and precious stone. These resources have been exploited by the central government and foreign corporations, often with little benefit to the local communities. Many ethnic groups have sought greater control over these resources and larger share of the profit. Actually, the conflict in Burma has been fueled by political repression, human rights abuses, discrimination against the ethnic minorities, and genocide against the Rohingya people. For many years, the military junta that ruled Burma has known for its brutal tactics against ethnic groups, including forced labor, rapes, murder. Although the military has since stepped back from direct rule, it continues to exercise significant political power, and many ethnic groups continue to face discrimination and repression. That's why all ethnic nationalities now united under the umbrella of National Unity Government and making 400 PDF forces fighting against military junta. They are also illegal and illegitimate. If Arsa is illegitimate, I want to tell this to the world. In fact, there is no any groups still legally recognized as a legitimate resistance forces in Burma, because to get legitimacy of the use of force, raise arms and ammunition and fight with the arms needs the recognition of United Nations Security Council authorizations. Any armed attacks, any armed resistance movement that has been authorized and approved by the UN Security Councils become legitimate resistance process to fight against enemy. None of the Burmese insurgency group or the NUG sponsored PDF forces are or ethnic armed groups are legitimate or legal, but they are claiming that they are legal and legitimate representative of the people and fighting for legal cause under the concept and charter of UN right of self-determination of a people. So why Rohingya has to be excluded? Rohingyas are fighting on the basis of right of self-determination. Rohingyas are son of the soils of Arakan. Rohingyas have been living there for centuries and centuries in their native land. So they have every right to defend themselves. The defensive resistance movement of the Rohingyas are justified and legal according to the international law because they have existential threat. The Burmese military junta has an intent to wipe out entire Rohingya population from Arakan and Burma. Unfortunately, the world doesn't realize it. It is time that the international community need to support the armed resistance forces of Rohingya people only in the name of Arsa, exercising their rights. Instead of helping them, everyone is trying to disrepute it as a terrorist organization. What is a terrorist organization? What is the definition of terrorist organization? Terrorist organization means those organizations and those fighters who make problems in the country and make harm to the civilian population, kill them, burn their houses, burn their villages, arrest them, punish them, torture them. Any organization involved in this kind of activities are called terrorist organization. So far in the last 7 years, the Arsa did not commit any kind of such things. Did you ever heard the Arakan Salvation Army kill Rakhine Mok people or any other ethnic people? Did you ever heard that Arsa ever raped a Rakhine Mok woman or other ethnic women and girls? Did you ever heard they arrested any monks, religious scholars, and they have destroyed the pagodas and the monasteries? No. So far Arsa did not do anything that can make problem and instability in Arakan. They respect the civilians. They have to fight only the Myanmar military junta. Arsa enemy is the Burmese military forces. Did you ever heard that there was a fighting between Arsa and Arakan army? No. The United League of Arakan never blamed Arsa as a terrorist organization. Arakan army never announced Arsa as a terrorist organization. Only Burmese government and 19 countries in the world among 193 countries said Arsa is a terrorist organization. America did not say. Any Western countries, they don't believe that because Arsa has never indulged in violence inside Arakan. That's why it is not a terrorist organization but a self-defense legal legitimate force of Rohingya people, same as other PDF forces and armed ethnic group of ethnic nationalities. If Arsa was a terrorist organization, then the United States will announce it as a terrorist organization. They are for worldwide institutions that monitor the activities of all terrorist organizations, but still today they can't find any fact to label Arsa as a terrorist organization. The only some section of the Rohingya activists and politicians and some few refugee people among the Rohingya themselves claim that and say Arsa a terrorist organization. It was also a mistake because some people they commit crimes, they indulge in yaba drug dealing and they rob the refugee people and kill the people, hijack the people, and they label and they confess that they are members of the Arakan Salvation Army. And this way Arsa become disreputed as a terror organization. Even 70 Hindus who were killed by the Burmese military junta, Burmese forces also label Arsa that Arsa killed Hindu people. Actually it was completely wrong. Arsa never killed any Hindu people. But 70 Hindus were killed by the Burmese forces and finally documented saying that Arsa carried out that attack. This way, whatever happened in Bangladesh refugee camps with the investigation of Myanmar military agents, they label it to Arsa. Arsa is formed and established on the basis of right of self-determination. They don't want to indulge in any activities that violate international law. They respect international law. They respect Universal Declaration of Human Rights. They believe in democracy. They believe in peaceful coexistence with all other people. So, they are fighting with only Burmese military forces. They don't want to engage with either Rohingya people who are fighting for the same reason against Myanmar military forces, and they don't want also to fight fellow countrymen, Buddhist people, Arakan army and other freedom fighters. So they are maintaining law and order. They want to establish rule of law, respect to human rights. By this way, how you can tell them, say them, terrorists? They are not terrorists. And they are self-defense forces. And the Rohingyas have the right of self-defense because they are victims of genocide and their mothers, sisters, children and whole communities to be protected from ongoing genocide. That's why Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army stands for the defense of the Rohingya people. It is a defensive force. It is a legitimate representative Rohingya party. We are proud of it and we want all NUG, National Unity Government and its affiliated PDF forces and also ethnic armed groups leaders accept Arsa as a fighting force against Myanmar military junta. We are with the people of Burma. We want to live together with all other 135 national minorities and ethnic people, and we want to live in peaceful coexistence with all 11 community and people of different faith in Arakan state. Let us work together to restore human rights, democracy, federalism in Arakan and Burma. Thank you.